live all your days according to his way. Oh, Mary, never show your true face, pretending high grade. Oh, Mary, what good is your crown with your heart on the ground? Oh, Mary, oh, God save the Queen with the throne made of stone. Long live the Queen, with the life not her.
Welcome to another Volti Audio one-take video. So that was Queen Mary by Francine 13. And that's not music that I would sit down and listen to at night. But it's such a great sound effects track. And so you hear it at the show. And if you saw my video, you know that I went into the Potpourri audio room. I always laugh when I say that because I know that's not how it's pronounced, but it's how it should be pronounced, right? And it was at 10 o'clock at night. They had a lot of people in there. So they were giving away stuff, and it was a big system. It's the Vitola, I think, speakers. The really cool looking curved sort of sail-shaped panel speakers, which I like the look of those a lot better than the Clarisas. Those both came out conspicuously close to one another, didn't they? And it's a good sounding system. I'm not saying it isn't good sounding. It's just when you hear, when I sat down here, when you hear what I just heard when I sat down, that whoosh that comes out of the song, it's just like that, And boy, I wish you could sit here and hear this. I really do. They were showing off the subs of the system and the whole system too, and they were really talking about the subs and those temporal acoustics, which were really good, excellent sounding subwoofers. I mean, they didn't really sound like subwoofers. It was pretty amazing, and I'm glad they had them twice as loud as they should have had them. Which is part of the reason, really. It's so stupid sometimes. You just think, what in the world? What is wrong with you? That, what they needed to do was cut those subwoofers pretty much in half, I think, and then bring the whole system up. And then some of the dynamics at least would have come out of those things, but because there were no dynamics. It was just this, it was scale, but it was just very flat. And, that part of that song that goes, whoosh, well, it didn't go, whoosh, it went, whoosh. There's a difference between and you just got to hear it. So they played that song. I listened to, they cut it about the same time I did because nobody can stand it past about 2 minutes because it's just the same thing over and over. And I went up into my room and I turned on that song. I was alone, 10:30 at night. I open the door. The system's been cold. I turn it on, find the song, get it on the system, and just immediately those first, in the song, and they just just pops out at you, and I'm thinking, wow, this is so much better So much better. It's not even a little bit better. It's just absolutely a transformative experience. It transforms the music when you hear them, when you hear that music like that on a system that's this good. The entire cost of my system in my room was, I think it was less than 30 grand. The entire cost of my system, including that beautiful rack, less than 30 grand. But what a fun experience. I will try to stay on track. Jesus, 4 pages here. All right. So, how was the show? Everybody wants to know. How was the show, Greg? It was okay. I mean, I've been to that show every year since it started. What's it been? 6 or 7 years, I think. And the Bart and the crew, they're all really good. They're nice people. They're trying real hard to put a good show on, and I think they did for the first few years, and then the last 2 years they've been in this new venue, and I just don't like it. I just don't. It's my second year now there. I won't even tell you the horror stories first year. I just got through it. I thought, well, first year, give them a break. But man, the hotel literally stinks. It's just full of mold. It's just God. Yeah, I think the building ought to be torn down, frankly. And it's in a terrible area. My goodness, the old venue was so much nicer. Embassy Suites. I don't know if they call that downtown or Bayside. I don't know the terminology, but I mean, you could walk across the street, and there were all kinds of nice restaurants there. Even a couple of small little ones tucked in that were really cool. It was much more dynamic, just much higher quality in every way. And for me, for being a vendor, going there, one of the reasons that I do these shows is to have fun. And I always make my own fun anyway. But there's no good restaurants around there. It's just that at the old place we had breakfast every morning. Yes, you could go down and get breakfast, but this is a free breakfast to everyone, which means everyone participated. And any of you watching this who have been there know the elevator doors open and there you are, right on the breakfast floor, and it's like, hey, how's it going and how you doing? And yeah, your room sounded really good yesterday, and I miss that. And I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to an awful lot of people that industry people who feel the same way. It's just not the same. There were a lot fewer people there this year. John Williamson, 467, 4 days ago, he said, I have worked funerals with more people. So cannot wait to hear how many thousands of people were there. Yeah, I've already heard that they broke an attendance record. No, they didn't. So yeah, it's just not as busy there. You can see it in the videos, right? Not even just my videos. Go look at any videos, and the hallways are not full. So, yeah, I'm not going back to that venue again. I want to support the guys. I mean, heck, I want to support the industry. This isn't an us against them thing. We're all in this together. And kumbaya. But it's true. That show is there to bring you and I together, isn't it? It's to give you a place to go check out different stuff. You're not going to hear that stuff. You're not going to travel to go hear that stuff, are you? And it gives me a chance to get in there and show off what we do. And they're important. I don't know that we need, 24 of them a year, but it's really important to have these events. I think Florida needs a show. Florida's been an excellent market for Volti Audio, and it must be for other people too. And so it would be sad if my sense is true. My sense is that this show is winding down, and that's sad. I hope that Bart and the other guys pull it together, realize that they need to have a little more upscale environment. I'm not I don't run a show, so I don't know what you got to do, but you got to do it, guys. You got to do it. That place ain't doing it. All right. Nice tour, Greg. Been attending Axpona for years. Your video may just convince me to skip it this year. This is Guser, Guser, 1138. I've been doing it for years. I might just skip it. Please don't skip it. Come to Axpona. Support the industry. Come here at the great gear. Just criminy, there are so many rooms at Axpona. You can't even get to all of them in 3 days. It's dynamic, and it's a great venue. And these guys know how to put on a show. They're serious. It's not a fun vibe show. I don't know why that is. How can one show be fun vibe and the other not? I don't know, but it's true. Remember Rocky Mountain Audio Fest? Yeah, the funnest vibe of them all. And we all know that. And we all talk about it. And Capital Audio Fest is kind of like that. I got a feeling if Capital keeps growing, though, it's gonna get too serious again. Or too serious, like Axpona. Axpona is all business. But heck, it's just a great show. My goodness, go there. Yeah, if they're playing it too loud, just open your mouth and ask, could you please turn it down a little bit? They will. If they're talking all the time, which 90% of the rooms, that's what they're doing, just go up to them like this and very kindly just say, you know what, please, I would really like to just hear your system for a few minutes without the talking in the background. Guess what? It'll work. I'm telling you, it will work. It's not that they don't want you to have a good time in there. They're just off in la-la land. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Anyway, it's like the with a /through audio room, right? Somebody asked me, how those speakers sound. Who could tell? Who could tell? You're sitting there and there's 10 conversations going on behind you. What in the world are they thinking? A beautifully set up room. Great coloring and signage and setup in a nice size room, and all the gear you see in these high-end systems and cables up off the floor on stands, right? So we're going to spend the time and really think about putting cables up on the floor and have everything just, and there's this antenna thing in the back that must be doing some magic thing too, right? We're going to put all this effort into this, and then what are we going to do? We're going to sit back there and just yak it all day long. Dude. Could you guys get some brain power together? Somebody, one of you guys, I think it was a dealer room, right? But one of you guys have got to be smart enough to say, you know what? Just take a look around. This isn't right. We've spent a heck of a lot of money and time and effort putting this together, and we're all back here. Enough. Go get another room. Go get a second room next to you. You've already spent this much money on it anyway. And go in there. And just leave the friggin' music playing in here. Excuse me, just a second. Oh, it's Winterport, Maine calling. Scam call. By the way, if you're from Maine and you call me sometime, I'm not going to answer. See, I have a 207 number, and I know that anytime I get a 207 or call from 207, it's just a junk phone call. That's all. So I don't answer them. So anyway, over the /through audio speakers. I did get a chance to hear him. I went in after I did my video. I went in and I asked the guy. I said, "Can you turn it up a little bit to drown out the friggin' talking?" And he handed me the remote, which is kind of cool. So I turned it up. Surprisingly, they lack mid-range. You look at them, at least I look at them, I think they're going to be lacking tweeter, or, high frequencies. But they're actually lacking mid-range. And I know what the designer's done. I know exactly what he's done. I know what he's trying to do. What do you do with a two-way system? What do you do if you want those high frequencies to pop a little bit? What do you do? In a three-way speaker, like I make, it's easy. It's really simple. I set that high frequency right where I want it. I tune it in exactly where I want it. I have so much control over that through the crossover. If you got a two-way, what do? Yeah, a bunch of crossover work, right? A whole bunch of crossover work to try to pull the mids back, pull the mids back, pull the mids. You can't just lower it. You got to cross over. You got to cross it out. You got to punch it out of there somehow and leave the highs. Not good. All right. They weren't terrible. Let's put it that way. And they're beautiful. They're really cool. I don't know what they cost. Does anybody know what they cost? I bet they're expensive. Anyway, if you went down the Volti Audio room and sat in front of the Luceras at $12,900 a pair, you're like, holy shit. There's just no comparison. A lot of these people must be thinking to themselves, what's going on here? This isn't right. How can this be sounding like this? What's Greg doing? Yeah, well, it's no trickery. It's no DSP. It's just really good design, really good construction, very carefully tuned. All right. So, setting up in a hotel room has its challenges. I'm lucky. I mentioned this in the video. I have an unfair advantage because horn speakers really are pretty easy to plunk down anywhere. I go back to my days with my La Scalas, and La Scalas, they don't care. You could turn them upside down; they sound just the same. La Scalas are just so flexible to put anywhere you want, and my speakers are kind of like that too. And we have the bass reflex we got to deal with, and that is always the challenge in a smaller room. Some of these systems had some pretty bad bass problems going on. And again, here's this tuning thing. I have this control that I can have over the tweeter and the mid-range. I have resistors in my speakers. I can change these levels. I can really fine-tune things. It makes all the difference when you can do that. On the bass, what do you do if you plunk your speakers down in this hotel room and they have too much bass? What do you do? You can't do very much, right? It's rear ported. You got walls behind you. You got too much low end going on. You got no resistors. You're kind of stuck, right? All you can do is try to move things around a little bit. But how much can you move it? Tough. I feel bad for some of these people, actually. I don't tend to have those problems. And in years past, you could come in my room I would come in my room and I would find fault with maybe just not quite enough low end, right? It just comes out a little bit lean, and then at the same time, a little bit too much of a node here and there on the bass. So that bass balance thing for me was like with everybody really has been tricky in these small hotel rooms. But I always manage to work around it. I have employed a new tool now. For the first time, other than with Vittoras, for the first time ever at a show, I had subwoofers going with the Lucera speakers. And I mean for the first time for an entire show, I had subwoofers going. And I like it. I like it. I'm using these little SVS Micro 3000s. They're just, it's this tiny little cube with opposing subwoofer drivers. I'm beginning to learn that I like opposing subwoofer drivers for whatever reason. There's probably a name for that. I'm sorry, I don't know what they're called, um, but I like that. I like what those do, and I love the control I have over these SVS subs with their app. Their app allows me to, of course, change crossover frequency and level, and I can do crossover slopes, different ones. And I can do a lot of these apps now and systems have parametric EQs, so that I have on the Micro you get 3 bands of parametric EQ. I only use one on each one. And by the way, you'll find this interesting. I used one parametric band to drop 20 hertz. I dropped I don't know how wide it was, but I dropped 20 hertz 5 dB. But that's how you tune. You have to really try these different things. And what's great about the app is you sit there and you can, while it's going, real time, you can play with that and just really get it tuned in. And I did, man. I'll tell you, these subs, I'm the pickiest person in the world when it comes to subwoofers. And I sat and listened to my system many times over the weekend, and I knew there was a sub on because I know my speakers don't go that low. But I really couldn't tell there was a sub on. It was really cool. So I think from now on, you're going to see, you're going to come to Volti Audio Rooms at the show, and you're going to have a fuller range than you've had before. Cheers. All right. So, all right. I love your comments. You know I do. I tell you that all the time. And I put out a bunch of videos. You guys saw, I'm sure you've seen, or at least some of you have seen the bunch of videos I put out. Did you see the shorts? Don't forget to watch the shorts because some of them are kind of funny. I had a really good time doing these videos this time. I think I did a better job this time than at CAF, and I will get better at it. I'm never going to do an actual show report. I saw one guy made a comment on one of my videos saying he didn't understand why all of you like my videos so much. And, well, that's okay. I'm sure that I don't appeal to everybody, or my style doesn't appeal to everybody. And that's cool. But he was saying, you know, when you go into a room, you gotta tell us what it is in the room. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to walk in somebody's room and start talking. I walk in the room, zip it, sit my ass down and listen. And I don't stay there very long because I want to keep it moving because I know there's a lot of haul time. I get it. Sorry, just the way I do it. Not going to change. But I am, did you notice I'm getting pictures of the sign at least as I come in or out of the room? All right, so there you go. You'll figure it out. Or you'll go somewhere else. All right, so anyway, my favorite comment. It just cracked me up. This comment is from BBLI Media. He says, I assume it's a he, the first room sounded like a recording. The second room had a lot of trees. Anyway, I thought that was great. You gotta have the trees. I mean, look, if you can't have LED lights, you gotta have trees. If you have both, all right. And this is my second favorite comment because I like the sarcasm. I think it's sarcasm. I hope he's not serious. I like the modern active digital stuff. I'd rather have my music wasn't crackly, poppy, and wow and fluttery. Anyway, that one cracked me up too. But you know what? I think a lot of you guys can do better than this. Come on. Come on. Give me some good some good stuff. All right. Audioverse PDM says, yeah, I don't believe you. The gear you mentioned can't touch that Clarissa setup. You remember that in the video? Yeah, the mop the floor comment. That was definitely a button pusher. I have fun with that shit. You know how I am. I do like to push buttons sometimes. All right. MM Dusa, I've seen you comment a lot. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. You say, yeah. Oh, no, you say glass speakers, no. Granite or marble speakers, no. Well, listen. I kind of agree with you on that. Isn't it true that in audio, things tend to sound like what they're made of? Imagine that. They actually kind of sound like what they're made of. If you got a metal diaphragm, it's kind of like a trash can lid. And if you've got a plastic diaphragm, it's thwop. Remember thwop? Did you catch that in the video? That's THWOP, thwop. That's what I hear from every drum beat when I listen to a speaker. Sorry, Harbeth guys. Sorry. That has polycone woofers. Thwop, 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 thwop. It was Gary Dews that said that to me one time, and now I can't get it out of my head. Every time I sit down in front of a polycone woofer speaker, I hear thwop. All right. Anyway, let's see. Michael Harness 69 says, "Great job, Bob. Love your sarcasm skills. Keep up the amazing work." You're welcome, Charlie. All right. So Kent Daigle says, panels, smoke horns, much less fatigue, period. Period. You have to believe somebody when they actually spell out the word period. Panels, smoke horns, much less fatigue. You know what? I don't really disagree with that. I do think panel speakers are less fatiguing. But I would point out that you can have a non-fatiguing system that is engaging and interesting and musical. And then you can have a non-fatiguing system that is boring and costs $1 million. Come to Axpona, come to my room, say, hey, Greg, show me a boring $1 million system. And we'll go check it out together. Okay? Got a deal? Are we going to do that? Okay. Let's do it. That'll be fun. All right. One thing this is 2 Under Par 787. He says, one thing I learned at the show this year, the single biggest and least expensive thing I could do to upgrade my system is add blue LED lighting. And I think he's absolutely right about that. All right. Expedition 18 says, awesome video. At the shows, are there speakers that you find are comparable to yours? No. And Aswagu's pack. Aswagu's pack. I don't know who you are, but you comment a lot on my videos, and I appreciate your support. Thank you. Here's what he wrote. Are you ready for this? All right. Got your coffee? Here we go. Horns are great when rooms are big. Always give a sound most people dig. Horns work best in rooms that are small, which is really fine because I'm not tall. Horns do sound great even if the room is a cube, and even better when pushed by a tube. A horn is never a gamble. You need no dice. Volty speakers are just so nice. That's great. Anyway, keep the comments coming. Love them. What's our time here? Oh, shit, man. This is a long video. I'm not going to be able to do a walkthrough. I think it's going to be too long. You let me know what you think. How long these videos can be. And remember, it's not just for you. It's not just for you guys who have kind of locked in on what I'm doing, and well, frankly, you just like me a lot. But you got to think about other people coming in, right? If it's a 45-minute video, do they even? I don't know. What do you think? Um, yeah. We're over 30 minutes. I'm gonna end it here. All right. We'll do a walkthrough another time. Maybe I'll even do another video and post this sometime midweek, so you don't have to wait a whole another week for it. Anyway, appreciate your support. Thank you so much, guys. Trust your ears. Have fun. I'll catch you on the next one.